Guess who's back? Wow, 2 years later and I finally got my hands on this guy. And the one that kicked off this new line of action figures for Power Rangers. Anyway, greetings dear viewers. What's happening on YouTube, Facebook, and Dailymotion, and wherever else who's ever watching this? Anthony Marsh on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film with my review on the long-awaited review on the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger with Tommy. Although this is the first of many Tommy figures I will get from the Lightning Collection, and this is my first Tommy figure for it because, well, again, I wanted to get this in the Green Ranger back to back. And you want to know where I got this this Lightning Collection White Ranger from? Well, in throughout this week, if you're watching this at the time, even though I recorded these reviews around the last week of March, or the last half week of March, this is the 2-year anniversary of the Lightning Collection that I had been wanting. I had got this Lord Zed and the SPD Red Ranger, all three off of Walmart instead of, usually getting most of my Power Ranger stuff on Amazon. I will order some Lightning Collection figures from Walmart on occasionally, but I'm really going to still keep buying more Power Ranger stuff off of Amazon, and will start ordering some figures via Hasbro Pulse and Big Bad Toy Store, and wherever else I can find some action figures of Power Rangers, including all the hard to find ones. Now, the White Ranger I got from Walmart because I've been wanting to get my hands on this White Ranger. Now, at first I wasn't fond of the Lightning Collection for MMPR at first, because when it was 2 years ago since Hasbro started taking over the reins of the Power Rangers franchise, I was not at first going to be interested in doing Lightning Collection, because at that time, back when I was no longer doing this video content of the reviews on my channel, that when they started doing the Lightning Collection, I was not going to do Mighty Morphin, but someone convinced me on my Facebook or so to do them, because knowing Hasbro is going to go out and give us the more real-world, authentic-looking Power Ranger figures, because all the muscular-looking figures we had from Bandai pre-2019 or over the last 25 years had been, ridiculous, and I think it was best that I should sell off all my old Bandai figures and only go for the keep the Bandai Megazords and Morphers and some vehicles if I have any, and just only stick to Hasbro's figures of the Power Rangers and not much on anything else Hasbro puts out. But I have been wanting to get my hands on this in particular because, given the fact I have a few Mighty Morphin White Ranger toys made from Bandai, including that Legacy one I did do a review on when I reviewed the Mighty Morphin and Zeo Legacy figures last year. But now that it's taken me 2 years to get this one, I bought this for about $19 via Hasbro's toy shop on Walmart, instead of full, the ridiculous high price from on Amazon for like $30 or whatever. I really underestimated this Mighty Morphin White Ranger figure, because back when this came out with Lord Zed, Dino Charge Red, and SPD Shadow, when I looked at this White Ranger, the white on him looked a bit dirty. Maybe that was because of the lighting at my local Target. But now that I got it in person here at home, it looks better. But I will take a look at this because I know I'm talking a lot about this figure, didn't actually get on with it. This is the 3D box render of his pose for the back of the box for those who already own this. But this is my first time owning it, so I am stoked to do Mighty Morphin White, because I got now, at the time of this, 3 more Mighty Morphins to go, and then I'll do the villains and foot soldiers, and potentially we'll do the first Lightning Collection monsters for Mighty Morphin, that being King Spinks and Pumpkin Rapper. and so forth. And there is a lot of Mighty Morphin to collect, because trust me. Alright everyone, now that I got the White Ranger out of the box, let's look at some accessories, since this was part of Wave 1 of the Lightning Collection. So there really wasn't going to be that many accessories for all these Wave 1ers. So what we have here are a pair of some bald fists that we always have for a lot of our Lightning Collection figures. If you want to put some of these bald fists on your figures, go and do that, because these are for spares in case if I lose any hands for any of these figures. Of course I won't. The lightning piece is very small. You can place this somewhere on the tip of the Saba sword, somewhere where I have to place it, because again, I never had this before. And it looks like a little small small lightning piece where, you know, when you have a weapon that's all shiny, it's like, you know, ka-ching, you know, with that effect piece to put on the sword or on the tip of the sword. I don't think I want to put the effect on the weapon. I mean, as much as I minded, but I don't even know where to plug this piece onto the tip of the Saba. I think I got it, sort of. Well, it's, well, given what was displayed according to the image. But again, I minded this piece, but I don't even know where to place it. Now, I wanted to compare all the Sabas from the 3 different Mighty Morphin Whites that I've had over the years, so now we're going to have to do some comparisons very early, because I really, well, except for my Mighty Morphin Legacy Movie White Ranger figure, which didn't come with Saba, or the shoulder pads like the White Ranger figures I already have of him already, because given I didn't manage to get a proper complete figure of him as much as possible, so put that one away, but I'll just save him in comparison how he stacks up. And then this armored Mighty Morphin White that I got from Megaforce. So let's just only compare just these 2 Bandai Mighty Morphin Whites with my Hasbro Mighty Morphin White, and see how they all stack up with their respective Saba swords. And you can tell that this is the brand new one. This is Hasbro's White Ranger and Saba, but the Saba sword, I would say, had way more painted detail, but I'm not really fond of the small blade tip on the Hasbro figure. While I do mind this decent, you know, coat of silver and gold paint on Saba, but as you can see on Hasbro's Mighty Morphin White Ranger, the eye pupils for Saba are missing. They're supposed to be red, but on like the Legacy figure, well, which I've always had more admiration for, the Legacy figure painted in at least the red eye pupils on Saba, but you can tell from the blade length that the Saba from Hasbro is smaller, while the Legacy one from Bandai is bigger, because I always liked the Bandai version of Saba a lot more than the Hasbro one. And then as I was theorizing when I was getting to my review for this, also even the armored the Megaforce armor Mighty Morphin White Ranger also had a Saba that was well also painted. But what's missing from this Saba sword from that White Ranger is that the head tip, the head area for Saba is missing the black and silver stripes around his head, around Saba's head. And now you got all 3 Saba swords together. It's like, who had the better one, and who did a great job on that weapon, you know, and painting Saba well. Who did the gold better, who did the silver better, which of these White Rangers had, well, actually they were all equally done well in their own rights. I mean, I don't know why Hasbro decided, and also if you also take a little small notice, there is some small bit of gold paint on this side of Saba, but on the other side of Saba there is no paint. I don't know why the heck they didn't do that. Whereas the Legacy one was just accurate. I mean, this is why I always prefer the Saba from the Legacy figure, because this was more accurate, but I know it's missing black paint on top of his head, which I didn't point out in my review of the Legacy figures for MMPR earlier. And so that was that with the Sabas, and then see who had the better Mighty Morphin White Ranger body. But you know, then again, Hasbro takes the cake, because these years, well, put the armor one away, that one was a bit too beef jerky looking. But the Legacy figure, in comparison when going into this figure review. So I'm going to have to do a comparison of both the Legacy White Ranger and the Lightning one, get some key differences going. Now I can't even seem to put Saba in his hand, you know, the Hasbro hand of the White Ranger. Oh yeah, and the Karate Chop hand. Both the White and Pink Rangers, as I theorized, was going to have this hand, like, you know, and then have this whole, you know, talk to the hand. Yeah, who the heck are you telling me talk to the hand? Okay, forgive me for that. Okay, take this hand away, but I can see why they had to put this. You know, putting this Karate Chop hand is, you know, it's kind of hard to take off a little bit, given this was the first of the Lightning line. Put a bald fist in this White Ranger, because nothing wrong with that karate hand. Nothing wrong with that. Sorry. And then you got this bald fist, and then you got one hand open, which is nice to do. Now I'm going to try and put Saba inside this hand of the White Ranger again. Took me a while to put Saba in the Hasbro White Ranger hand. Now let's take a good glimpse who did the White Ranger better. See if Bandai did a good job on White or Hasbro did. Okay, the first I'll talk about will be the helmets, because the helmets are fairly well done, although I would say that while Bandai had the Bandai Legacy figure had a more brighter gold, you know, Hasbro was going to have a much slightly darker gold than usual. But, you know, back when I was watching other people's reviews for this on YouTube, that whenever I looked at their review of the Hasbro White Ranger for the Lightning collection, that the white, as I theorized, was going to be, I mean, not the white, the gold was going to be darker. But I guess basically, according to my review on this, the gold is just accurate, but even though it has some shades of that darker premium gold to it on the Hasbro figure, and I actually think that the gold was great on the Hasbro figure. While I minded the Bandai one, when I look at the the gold on the White Ranger from Bandai's Legacy line, the gold looks very cheap. But although I did mind it this, and well I did like that the gold shimmer on the Bandai one. Hasbro's did it slightly as well, but although it's not that visible. The shield, the Tiger Zord shield, I liked from Bandai's, but although it's very, again, metallic plastic and the shield does not come off. Whereas if you want to take the shield off this White Ranger, you can, because given that Hasbro does real world proportions for most of their adult collector figures like this, certain figures like this will come with rubber plastic, while this is just basic plastic, while this had a more rubber plastic feel, which I do like from this White Ranger with that. And you can't, you know, if you want to take the shield off, you can just take a pair of scissors and rip off the shield. And same go when I get the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger one, and I wish I bought two of those and made a custom Dragon Shield Red Ranger one, since the Jason 2-pack is way above my price range, and I don't think I want to get that one anytime soon. Maybe in a future standalone release. I'm trying to keep the shield steady on his shoulders, because when this figure came out, the shield won't go all the way down, you know, from a shoulder pad length, and it just keeps going up and making it look like the White Ranger's neck is not that visible enough, which sucks. I did like the fact that, again, when you look at the Sabas again, with them how they look holding their Saba swords, that I rather prefer the Bandai Legacy figures Saba over the Hasbro one. That's just my preference, because the problem with this Saba, this one here, is that from this tip is smaller. I don't think it's supposed to be accurate to what it looked like on the show. Well, I minded Bandai's version of that being, you know, 2 inches longer than this, and that armored one from again, Power Rangers Megaforce in their armored Ranger line, but I actually prefer Bandai Saba better. The belts, well, they're the same, they're just accurate to how the White Ranger's belt looked in the Sentai of Die Ranger, but Hasbro takes the cake here with it being a little bit more shinier than the Bandai one. The suit overall, both got a good shade of white. So for the white sides of things, it's a tie. In terms of articulative points, again, you can't really do much elbow crunches on the green and white Ranger figures. Well, wait until when I do my Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Green Ranger reviews. I will compare who did the better ab and elbow and knee crunches better. But again, the Bandai one can't really do much elbow crunching, but yet on the Hasbro one you can, because the arm length is a lot longer than the Bandai one. So points for Hasbro for that one. Then you got, again, the knee crunches, which are difficult. Like one leg you can get it, but the other leg is like, I don't want, like, I'm easily scared to break off one of the legs, and I'm gonna have to buy another one, which I don't want to do. So that's the comparison. So the winner in the verdict, who had the better Mighty Morphin White Ranger of the four I got, Hasbro. Let's take a look at how Tommy looks unhelmeted with his head sculpt. Okay, now let's take a look at Tommy without the helmet on. As I theorized, because while I minded them trying to get, faithful on the likenesses of the Power Ranger actors as possible, given this was from the first two waves of the Lightning Collection, with Kimberly being part of Wave 2, although it's going to be hard for me to get Kimberly aside anyway during this point at time right now. But in terms of this Tommy head sculpt, this Tommy head sculpt does look a lot like Jason David Frank as Tommy in this, but again, given this was their first attempt at trying to get the likenesses of the actors doing these characters and the toys possible and accurately, again, given this was back when Hasbro was just getting started putting out these toys, the head sculpt barely looks like JDF. It does look like him in some shades with the eyes, the nose, the mouth. And given this is my first Tommy head sculpt, personally, this is my least, I hate to say it, guys, but this is like my least favorite Tommy head. While I know that when in most appearances when Tommy was the White Ranger in seasons 2 and 3, and even in Zeo and early Turbo when he was like the Red Ranger, Tommy would sometimes have the ponytail look during Zeo and Turbo as well. This is also the same Tommy head sculpt they used for the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, which, yeah, I mean, personally, and also when I first looked at this the first time, this Tommy head looks a bit creepy. That's just my opinion, guys. But when I get the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger and the Red Zeo Ranger and Lord Draken, I would probably place any of those Tommy heads over this one. I wish that if Hasbro had more time to get the head on accurately and make it look well. I don't know what's going on with this head of Tommy. I mean, they got the eye pupils down, they got his face and everything, and scowling looking and serious and badass looking. But when I get, again, the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger and Red Zeo and Lord Draken, once I get my Tommy collection going, I'm just like, okay, this is like, well, it's an okay Tommy head sculpt, and very accurate to how Jason David Frank looked in the role. But this is my least favorite head sculpt. And again, you can tell at least they were trying with this head of Tommy. So let's see how he stacks up with Jason, Billy, and Zach together, since I only got the boys of MMPR. Wait until I get the girls of the group. If they will do a restock of Kimberly, but I will probably get Trini before I get a Kimberly. And then the team is complete. Now, take a look at that. Mighty Morphin is almost complete until I get Green Ranger Tommy, Trini, and Kimberly. Well, if Kimberly does get a restock, like I said earlier, just a couple seconds ago, then I would have completed the team. Now, this is how we got the four Mighty Morphin guys. Oh, whoa, and Zach and Billy just fell off. Oh, wow, that had to happen. Sorry for that. I don't know. Maybe it's because one of them have a bad standing stance. But actually, well, if I put Billy over here, because if I had pink and yellow to emulate the MMPR 1995 movie poster, but given the fact that Jason, Zach, and Trini were not in the movie, but waiting until when I get the ZL blue and green Rangers, which is Rocky and Adam, and then if they do a metallic armor Mighty Morphin yellow with Aisha, I could do that, and then probably do a re-release and hope for a Spectrum re-release of Mighty Morphin Pink with Kimberly. Then I can finish up MMPR proper and get this going. So far I almost got everybody from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because, you know, like I did the Legacy figures, the Lightning Collection figures, I'll do the same, because I want to do all 7 Rangers from, like, in Lightning as much as I've done in Legacy. And it's great, but if I had the girls and Tommy as the original Green Ranger. But I know for those who are not fans of the White Ranger, you can always just replace White with Tommy as Green, put Jason back in front and center because Jason is the true leader. But, you know, again, Jason and Tommy were great in their own respective rights as leaders of Power Rangers. But then again, the team is almost halfway done at this point. Looking so good so far, guys. Zordon must be very proud of me for getting these toys and getting this collection of the original 6. If only if I had, again, pink and yellow, the girls, Kimberly and Trini, if need so. But this is just so great. Are you happy that I now got half of the Power team, but if only if I had 2 more? This is great. Real great. Just look at this posing. So in conclusion, I'm actually happy with the Mighty Morphin White Ranger figure. I like the articulation. I like the paint. I would say that the Lightning Collection figure is better and a huge step up over the Legacy one. But I still like the Legacy figure. But nevertheless, Lightning beats it to a pulp. And I actually think this looks great. And with these 4, the boys of MMPR are back in town. But then again, wait until I get pink and yellow so I can finish up MMPR. And also Tommy as the Green Ranger, and then Mighty Morphin, the team is done until different variants and versions of MMPR is out, and then also like the villains and monsters, because this collection keeps getting better and better with time, I swear. So anyway, guys, what do you think of my review of the Mighty Morphin White Ranger? Let me know in the comments, and I'm off for now. Anthony on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film / PRLostGalaxy2014. Subscribe, drop a like, and more Lightning Collection reviews to come. Thanks for watching.